Why is tone important? Tone is a word that is thrown around by critics to try and justify why something is good or bad. What tone is, however, usually feels undefined, feeling like a cop-out for critics instead of giving valid reasons for their argument. But tone is an important part of storytelling, and I think it is important to understand its effects. I want to explore what tone is and why it is so important to have the right tone for your story. For this video, I will mainly be discussing the importance of tone in films, but many of the same concepts can be applied to every kind of storytelling. So what exactly is tone? Tone is the general character or attitude of a place, piece of writing, or situation. In other words, tone is the attitude that the filmmakers take when creating a film. The most important thing to know about tone is that it is from the filmmaker's perspective and not the audience's. Tone isn't how the audience should feel, but the perspective from which the filmmakers approach the story. But how do you know what tone to choose for your film? It is critical that the tone of the film aligns with the theme of the story. Say you are making a movie that is trying to bring awareness to a corrupt political figure. If you approach the tone of your movie to be jokingly and light, then it is unlikely that your point gets across. However, if the tone of your story is serious and potentially even dark, then your audience will immediately be able to take your message seriously. As audience members, we know instantly when a scene starts what the tone is. Tone is affected by every element of the film, from the script to the lighting, the performances, and the editing. All of these aspects affect the tone, and it is important that they are all on the same page. So when a film starts, we have expectations of what the film will be and the kinds of emotions that it will deliver. Here is an example from two of the currently most popular film franchises, the MCU and the DCEU, which are pretty good examples of how you should approach tone and how to not approach tone.
You got hard, kid. Where you from?
Queens?
Brooklyn.
This first clip from Marvel's Civil War brings a sense of grounded reality to the action scene. The muted colors makes us identify with day-to-day life, and through the performances and clever writing, the dialogue feels more like a casual conversation than a discussion between two superheroes while fighting. This gives us the immediate tone for the film. We identify that even though this film is about superheroes, it will be grounded in almost day-to-day conversations, which prepares us for the humor of the film, as well as the serious moments. Compare this to the Justice League.
Kal-El, the last son of Krypton. Remember who you are. Tell me who you are.
In Justice League, we instantly see the almost painting-like imagery. This brings us to feel a sense that we are watching something grand or even a classic tragedy. The heroes look brooding, and we think that we're going to get an epic plot with dark, complicated characters. We infer this from the incredible imagery and the brooding performances. But Justice League doesn't deliver on the tone it promised us. We get shells of complicated characters. The film doesn't commit to the tone that the imagery gives us. The characters often crack jokes, and nothing is really taken too seriously. The dialogue in the scene is the opposite of day-to-day banter, feeling more like mythical figures talking, which is fine, but then the film tries to insert jokes to make the film feel more fun, but it ends up just confusing the audience. We don't know how seriously we should take Justice League because the tone is all over the place, which is one of the reasons why it was so forgettable. Civil War committed to a tone, and the movie benefits from that. Justice League couldn't commit, and suffered because of it. However, you can still make films that express a wide range of tones throughout the movie. Movies like The Wolf of Wall Street and Pulp Fiction are far more complicated when it comes to tone, but the filmmakers handle it in a way where the audience is never caught off guard. The best movies are all very self-aware, and they know what they're trying to do. That starts with tone. Tone is often far more complicated than just being serious or humorous, but if it isn't handled correctly, it can have hugely negative effects on the film. Tone isn't the only important thing to make a good film. Just because you have a consistent tone, you still need to follow through on about 1,000 other different things. With that said, tone is a very easy way to hold your film back. So many passable movies that I have seen recently seem to suffer from a lack of tonal awareness. They don't commit to what they're trying to say, and because of that, the audience doesn't know what emotion they should be feeling in any given scene. And that is really the crux of why tone is important. Tone indicates to the audience what emotions the film will deliver. And if misused, the film can only scratch the surface of the films that understand how to use tone.